Hey guys, welcome back to another one. This video is going to be about the upcoming Cardano Summit. If you like this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. It means a bunch. Alright, so for this video, dive right into it. We'll get into the schedule and see what we can expect for today. It's supposed to be a big one, and we're expecting some big news. So opening it up, it'll be here in about an hour actually. Charles Hoskinson will welcome everyone with the keynote announcements and some new partnerships for the ecosystem, which is nice to see. And then building great products for Cardano will be the first hour and a half. And then after that, we'll go right into Italia Prism. And if you're not familiar with Italia Prism, it's a huge part of Cardano, especially what they're doing in Africa right now. But with this, some of the use cases, digital IDs, so like what Apple's doing with your cell phone right now, where you can have a digital identification on your cell phone. They'll have that with Cardano, and it's part of the blockchain. So of course everything is verified with certificates, transcripts, badges, etc. And governments and health, I think a big thing with vaccination and record keeping there, so there's no fake vaccine cards, health records as well. Enterprise finance, it's all there for Italia Prism, and I think that's part of a huge part of the upcoming Cardano ecosystem. And then moving on, they're going into Voltaire, speaking about that, which is pretty interesting. And if you're not familiar with the Cardano roadmap, essentially right now we're in the Goguen era, so of smart contracts, and just we just started the release of smart contracts a couple weeks ago, and then from there we'll move into the Basho, which is scaling, and then Voltaire is the last portion of the roadmap. And guys, it'll take more than a couple of years to get there, but with this one, the two big pieces, it is the voting and then the treasury system. So in the future, IOHK and Emergo, they're going to be super hands-off, and then Cardano is just going to run itself. It's going to have its own treasury system, and users will be able to vote on what they want Cardano to be in the future. And with the treasury system, they'll be able to pay for some of the upgrades with the treasury. So that is what they'll talk about in the future, the path towards that government. And then next, we'll talk about Africa. As we know, Cardano is doing a lot in Africa. So it's pretty exciting to see, in the future, what they have planned, what they'll continue to build in Africa. And the road ahead, IOHK, as well as other leaders in Africa, they have a whole bunch of topics and a whole bunch of impacts for the future plan in Africa. And I think they'll highlight that and talk about that a little bit more. So raising the bar on fan engagement, I think Cardano fans are some of the biggest fans out there in the cryptocurrency space right now. So if we could raise the bar even more, that would be pretty exciting to see. And then we'll talk about some catalysts, a little break in there, talk about ReFi, RealFi. I'm interested to see exactly what that is. Real finance, I'm assuming. And then bridging the multi-chain world. And I know this is a huge part of Cardano, is just bringing all of the different blockchains together. And that kind of goes with scaling, and it's optimizing and making all of these blockchains interoperable. So they will hit on that a little bit. Cardano CIPs. So CIP is just like Ethereum EIP 1559, which came out recently. I think they'll hit on some of these, and probably hit on some of the bigger ones, and see if they want to improve on it or make those Cardano improvement proposals more than just a proposal. And then from there, talk about planting a blockchain forest, smart contract certifications, power of catalysts. And then the next big one I saw was building DApps, or digital apps, with Plutus. And one of the main things to make Cardano, up there with Ethereum, I know it's getting there, but it is the developers. And right now the developers, there's not as many, one, and then two, there's no central store. It's like an app store, Apple App Store. And that is something that they, have highlighted in articles in the past. This one just came out a couple days ago. hopefully they should be bringing certified dApps to Cardano. They said they'll unveil a new integrated approach at the Cardano Summit in about an hour. And essentially they'll just have a store where all of these certified dApps can come together. And that is pretty exciting. So bringing dApps to the mass market, they're highlighting that multiple times throughout the first day. And they'll talk about the treasury and governance. We talked about that a little bit. There's going to be another break. And then from grape to glass. So this one is bringing, here we are, supply chain solutions with ScanTrust. So this is something that came out not too long ago as well. And essentially, it's just, supply chain management. With the Cardano ecosystem, I think this is very similar to VeChain, and I'll get into that topic on a different video. But essentially, you should be able to see, from picking the grapes to, refining the grapes to making wine to shipping wine, you should be able to track that entire process in the Cardano ecosystem, which is very exciting to see in the future. And then from there, I'll talk a little bit more about DeFi and no longer a luxury product authentication. That kind of goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about. And then they'll talk about the light wallets a little bit. And if you're not familiar with that, it's Yoroi is the light wallet, the approved one for Cardano, and some of the upgrades that we can expect to see in the future for the light wallets. And then lastly is the NFTs in Cardano was the last main thing that I saw. So our NFTs, the future creative pursuit, and there's a lot of pros and cons with the NFT market space. This is, one of the big names for Cardano's. It's kind of like OpenSeas for Ethereum. So you can go in here and, transaction fees are much, much, much cheaper than Ethereum, and they're not quite as popular right now. So, maybe after this, they will become a little bit more popular. And those were the main things. Of course, they'll hit on Africa a little bit more. They'll talk about the wallets, kind of like I mentioned. And that was the main things that I found for Saturday. Of course, starting from the top, it's the main opening and the new partnerships is what I think a lot of people are eager to see, as well as the rest of the schedule. If you guys have any comments, let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys on the next one.